As Mkhonto sees a party, we have taken note of the interim report issued by the Special Investigating Unit concerning the corruption and criminality and looting at the Tembisa Hospital. Now, we have noted and we condemn the protection of CYRIL RAMAPHOSA'S nephew, and we call upon his immediate arrest. It is categorically clear and grave, and glaringly so, that the evidence that was presented by the SIU points at malfeasance on the end of Morgan Maumela. And we call on, by virtue of that, the NPA, who have received this evidence, to process it and that they act as the law enforcement effective immediately without any delay. Now, the SIU has also confirmed that Morgan Hangwani Maumela and businessman Cat Matlala have been implicated in this corruption related to fraud and irregular contracts, benefiting unlawfully from state funds meant to serve the health and dignity of our people. It is further noted that this has been, as we've stated, now handed over and should be processed as effective immediately. The people of South Africa can no longer tolerate selective prosecution and endless delays of protection for politically connected individuals by compromised elements in our criminal justice system, and hence we're calling upon this. This state capture is at its purest. This is the state capture in the most dangerous form, not in theatrical terms, but in reality, where the politicians serve criminal networks and the deepest of our justice system and state. Now, we see that our judicial system is being weaponized by the corrupt and the criminal underworld to control the state. This has been facilitated by politicians who benefit from their nefarious activities. And it is also abundantly clear the scale of funds involved in running into billions, that this corruption did not and could not happen only in the hands of junior officials at Tembisa alone. Now, this continued narrative also that we picked up, that the procurement clerks were the masterminds behind this looting spree, is an insult to the intelligence of our people. It is just a smokescreen that is designed to shield politicians and missees national government leaders who are either complicit or grossly negligent. Babita Deokaran was assassinated because she dared to speak out against this mafia. Today, many years later, more than 2.5 years later, these very institutions that should have protected her are still dragging their feet in delivering justice to those she named and those who plotted her murder. This is an indictment on the NPA. This is an indictment on the law enforcement agencies. We call for the immediate arrest as part of our demands and prosecution of Morgan Hangwani Maumela, and also the laying of new charges against Vusimuzi, Cat Matlala, in accordance with the allegations outlined by the SIU. Second, a full and public investigation into the role of senior officials, particularly political office bearers, who oversaw and facilitated these transactions. Now, this matter, we expect will be, and we will ensure, it is brought to the ad hoc committee in Parliament, and more stringent measures to ensure protection against possible victimization and murder, including protective and legal support for whistleblowers who remain as the last line of defense against kleptocracy. The people of South Africa must know that we're no longer dealing with isolated incidents of corruption. We are dealing with a well-oiled, highly connected criminal syndicate that has taken root inside the state. Until the heads of this snake is severed, not just its sacrificial tails, there will be no justice, no service delivery, and no peace in South Africa for our people. Now, uMkhonto weSizwe party reiterates its commitment to dismantling criminal syndicates within the state, holding every enabler and beneficiary of corruption to account and restoring the dignity of the public service. We stand today in spirit with Babita Deokaran and her family, friends, not just to remember her sacrifice, but to finish the fight that she began.
This Mkhwanazi thing is going to show people lots of flames. Martian politically correct. Let's see. Thank you.
As MK Party, first and foremost, we would want to state categorically that we support General Mkhwanazi. We always have, and we will always support him and any South African who's upstanding, who is standing on the side of the people of South Africa and is diligent in their work, and they are ethical, and they are standing against the capture of the state and state institutions. It was for that reason that we went to the street to go and march in support of the general, as well as to call for the immediate firing of Minister Mkhunu. We called that the decision by the president to appoint Kachalia as an acting minister from outside of cabinet was irregular and unlawful. And we continued to think that criminals must be charged and they must face the full might of the law, and they must defend themselves in a court of law. So as MK Party, that is still our position. We have not moved an inch from that position. We believe that we must still continue to fight because we only have one country to save. This is the only home we know and we want to call home. So we are not intending on giving up on South Africa, and we are calling on all South Africans not to give up on South Africa as well. Our opposition to the Madlanga Commission is very simple. It is a matter of law. First and foremost, South Africans must know that the president, the constitution does not prescribe the kind of commission a president may call. Now, having a judge to preside over this commission in particular makes it a judicial commission. But you can't have a judicial commission where the justice system itself is implicated, and therefore that would constitute that they are the referee and a player. They will not do a thorough investigation and be fair. We believe that the ad hoc committee in Parliament is more than adequate. But also, when we use that avenue, we will not spend over 147 million to try to get to the bottom of these matters. And that is what we are fundamentally opposed to. We believe that a judge should not preside over that commission. We know that the findings are not binding, therefore it's pointless. We could have allowed the parliamentary ad hoc committee to do the work and make sure that we get as much information as possible. What's even better is that with the parliamentary committee, there might be recommendations that might lead to reforms in the criminal justice cluster that would assist South Africa going forward. So as MK Party, we believe that this is the wrong approach, and that is why we will continue to point out that criminal syndicates who are sophisticated are working with the president, and he is the number one defendant of this criminality in our country when he should be defending the country against rogue elements.
Umnumzana uRamaphosa nohulumeni wakhe bakhohlakele ba-corrupt. uGeneral Mkhwanazi uselikhiphile iqiniso lokuthi kukhona abantu ababulawayo kwezepolitiki, kukhona abantu abala kwipolitics, ma-politicians njengoSenzo Mchunu ongqongqoshe kwezepolitiki, bonke bakhohlakele. Thina-ke siwumkhonto wesizwe sithi sinenhlanhla ngoba uGeneral Mkhwanazi uyiphoyisa eliqotho, uyiphoyisa eliqinisile. Siyanicela nonke-ke emakhaya ukuthi lento enziwe uGeneral Mkhwanazi inhle, sonke masimxhase.
Iwele ikhombo, tiko ra hina ri wele ikhombo, swa chavisa leswi humelelaka la tikweni leri. Holobye nkulu lo a tsandzekaka ku tihlamulela, a nga lavi vutihlamuleri, u tirha na swigevenga. Hi ri vanhu va ka hina hinkwenu a hi humeni ya support General Mkhwanazi.
Bantu bekhaya njengoba sihlaka kangaka niyazi ukuthi sihlakiswa yini, kade sihlakiswa ukuthi sinohulumende la ongakhona ukukhuluma, ohlalela ukuleya mala ngamanye amagama abantu basazokuhlaga beSouth Africa ngoba sinabantu abangasirehe sinabantu abazingebengu abanye ke uGeneral Mkhwanazi usihelebhileke wazama ukuthi asihlagulule ukuthi kunento